Jessica here from Ethereal Exotics, and I'm here to talk to you about pipe insulation. Pipe insulation is normally used to prevent pipes from overheating or freezing. Pipe insulation is made out of polyethylene, a common plastic that has many uses and is a material that you can feel safe when using for your gecko keeping needs. Bonuses for using pipe insulation in your enclosures include water resistance, customization, traction, privacy, and not to mention, pretty easy to clean. Water resistance makes this tool an ideal substitution to paper towel rolls. Pipe insulation does not mold, and as gecko keepers, misting is a daily activity, so mold caused by high humidity is not unheard of. However, since this is a plastic material, it repels humidity rather than soaks it in, so the water sits on top of it. Traction and durability is an important detail we consider when it comes to gecko feet. Pipe insulation makes it easy for geckos to get around their enclosures. Their feet easily stick to the material. Pipe insulation is a flexible, light material that is soft to the touch. As we know, crested geckos mainly leap from branch to get around or crawl. When it comes to privacy and the primarily nocturnal livelihoods of crested geckos, it can be pretty serious business. Whether it be sleeping or being unseen, pipe insulation allows your geckos to feel comfortable and secure away from predators and peeping toms. On the other side of the coin, in the instance where we may need to get your gecko out of the pipe insulation, it is as easy as squeezing toothpaste from a tube. Locate the width of their bodies within the tube, then gently coax them out by squeezing lightly on either side of the tube with your fingers. Your gecko will likely respond to your movements by moving to the mouth of the tube to the nearest exit. Make sure to watch out for those tails when attempting this, as they can easily mistake you for a hungry tube monster and want to get out of dodge and leave behind a little snack, aka their tails. If this is a concern of yours, there are thicker varieties of pipe insulation that would otherwise deter geckos from getting carried away from being cooped up inside of their favorite tube. Pipe insulation is a cinch to clean. Take a damp towel to wipe clean or soak in warm, soapy water. Be sure to only use a drop or two of soap and make sure you rinse well. The best and most useful benefit to pipe insulation is customization. Given that pipe insulation is made out of a flexible material, you can bend and shape it however you wish. Along the length of every tube is a slit. This slit will only separate by force, so it will not easily lose form if punctured with, say, the stem of a silk or fake plant. Faux foliage is my preferred way of giving my simple setup a more natural look. Pipe insulation seems pretty plain at first glance, but let me show you how to transform it into a flowering faux branch by using it as a post for this beautiful orchid piece. Before we move on to our tutorial, let us cover some valuable information about the various sizes of pipe insulation you can find at your local hardware store. Usually when you purchase pipe insulation, it's in the form of like these huge 6-foot long tubes. This would be, for me, hatchling size. This is approximately 3/4. You see the diameter of that. This would be 1 inch. But I would say like 1 1/4 inches. Giant gecko sized 2 inches. This is good for Chihuahua. This could probably even be good for lychees. This I would use for subadults. The 1 1/4 inch. This is great. This pretty much I would use this for adults. Geckos that wouldn't be able to get into this space. This is like 3/8 of a space, and they would not be able to get in here. I kind of like that feature. This particular size is probably familiar. You would think of it as pool noodles. This is exactly how they look like, with the same diameter. The only difference would be that it does not have this neat split.
But you could use pool noodles. I mean, they have assorted colors. You can add a little bit of extra flair if you want. But yes, these are the sizes here. Oops, that didn't really work. Giant gecko size, normal adult size, sub-adult size, and hatchling size.
For this project, you will need scissors, a silk or fake plant of your choice, an enclosure to determine size and fit, and of course, your preferred size and width of pipe insulation.
Okay, so how you're going to fit your pipe insulation for your enclosure. This is a tub that I've made. You can keep in mind you can use this for exoteras. You can use pipe insulation for anything. For this demonstration, I am going to use a tub that I have modified. It's just a Sterilite bin. The only thing I really modified was the little ventilation holes on the sides, which probably should be bigger. This one's an old one. And the screen that you see there. Okay, so basically what you're going to do in order to size this thing, you're going to stick it in firmly and try to hold it at the base, and you're going to bend it in a little bit just to get an idea. So my finger is here, but the edge of the tub is right here. So I'm going to you want to cut less than more. If you cut too much off, you're going to have a very slippery piece of pipe, just sort of not very steady for when your gecko jumps on it. It's just sort of going to fall. So what you want to do, you want to take off a little bit less. So I'm just going to say right here is good. You can see how my finger is set in here. It's directly on this base. If I have to cut more off, I can just cut more off. But I don't run the risk of cutting up too much. Okay, so we are just going to cut right here. And it's a little bit, you just gotta, you know, try to cut more at the very edge of this scissor, not the very tip. Right here. That's where all your strength is gonna be. So, let's see, let me show you exactly how we're gonna fit this in. Now, it's not the most even cut, but it will do just fine. If I have to cut more off, like I said, yeah, see, I'm gonna have to cut more off because it's crooked and that doesn't really look very pretty. But if you do straighten it out a little bit, it looks a little better. I'm going to cut more off just because I'm OCD like that. This much. And it's pretty simple to cut. It's not very hard. You can get a good look on the inside there. And this slit doesn't separate if you cut. Like, it's awesome stuff. Yeah. So I like for mine to have a nice fit. It doesn't necessarily have to be straight. I generally just care about it fitting, and if a gecko jumps on it, it's not going to fall. Usually they have to jump on this thing a good 10 times, and they have to be really romping around in there to knock it down. If I were to just press it harder, then yeah, of course it's going to with enough force. But what gecko do you know jumps like this is going to do though? This is perfect. Okay, what we want to do is show you how you're going to make this look prettier. So using these two pieces, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So you have to locate that slit. It's pretty obvious where it is, right? I mean, you see it, you feel it. We're going to make our first indentation around the lower part of it so that it has some room. Because this is a pretty big orchid piece here. But it's going to look awesome once we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and puncture right on through here. And you can get a pretty good look at where that is going. Oh no, I think that looks a little bit better. It's not completely breaking the slit. It's just right through that and out of the end there. And it's not very pokey. So I took a flower off of here so we can make another indentation. And we're just going to go ahead and poke this right through here. And we're going to push down. And you have it. You have a post for a lovely plant. And when it's put in this inside of this enclosure, it's going to look really nice. On the inside, you do see where this flower was taken off. You can look in there, and it's pretty much facing the other side of the wall there. So your gecko's eye isn't gonna get poked out or anything. It's a very, very, very dull, soft point. Get this in here real snug. It's gonna take a little bit of momentum here, but we'll get through it. You can put this down here, and if I just tap up, it gives us a nice little arch. Don't that look just unnatural and natural at the same time? I think it looks quite nice. And in fact, I also have a little other piece here. I've got this nice little leafy bit here for the orchid here, and what we can do is we can insert that not directly in that same indentation we made, but like maybe 2 or 3 inches above it, and just insert that. It's kind of in your way, hold on. We're just going to insert that right in there. You're going to hear it poke. There you go. And we're just going to set this, bend these leaves a little bit, and it looks even more natural. Let's go ahead and set that on in here. And that corner is facing the wall. Okay, now we've got a really nice orchid piece posted into a piece of pipe insulation. You can put this as high up or as low as you want it. I kind of like it high up like this. Makes it look quite nice. Just poke this up a little bit more. And there you have it. You have a really nice orchid piece. And thanks to the help of pipe insulation, we're able to set it in there real sturdy, so a whole lot of movement isn't going to disrupt the arrangement. Well guys, that concludes our very first tutorial. It was quite a lengthy one there, so thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out our Facebook page. I will include a link below, or you could just go ahead and look us up on your own spare time. Follow us, subscribe, whatever you wish to do would be amazing. Thanks so much again for watching, and we'll be seeing you soon here on the Ethereal Exotics channel.